Hello and welcome to the Technofunda Investing channel, and great to have all of you here. This is a special video which we are doing on analysis of Q2 FY26 results season. And this is going to be a comprehensive video where I'll be touching across all the themes and sectors and companies where throughout the last 3 months we have found some amazing results which has come up, and you can then go deeper and study these companies further. So this is going to be a very powerful video where you will learn which sector to focus for the next quarter, where the growth is coming, and most importantly I'll tell you how to actually spot these, what are the Technofunda criteria, how as an investor you can benefit from all the themes, and how you can ultimately deep dive this kind of analysis every quarter. So let's straight away jump into it, and it's going to be a very powerful session in terms of learning about analyzing quarterly earnings growth of the company. Let's dive in. Awesome. Hi, Vivek Mashrani here. I'm a Technofunda Investing specialist, and I love to combine technicals with fundamentals. And I've been doing this for more than 15 years and helping so many investors to go through their investing journey. In this video, we are going to learn about how to actually dissect companies which are in a growth stage, how to ride such winners, what is the mechanism for that, what is the strategy for that, and then we are practically going to understand and filter companies for the last quarter, which is Q2 FY 2026, and we are going to understand how to actually make sense of it, what are themes that you need to look for, and how you can further study these companies. So let's straight away dive into it and let's understand the mechanism. I'll share my screen and here we go. So the quick disclaimer, SEBI disclaimer, I'll just put my screen here. So this is a quick disclaimer. We are SEBI registered research analyst. We have a private limited company and I am a director in that. Let's go further. This is the root of one of the best thing that has happened in finding the growing stocks. There's a person called as Stan Winstein. He wrote this amazing book called Secrets for Profiting in Bulls and Bears Market, and he talked about something called as 4-stage framework. Now this has helped me immensely in finding stocks at an early stage, at a value buying stage, and then ride it throughout the earnings momentum when it comes up. So basically he talks about 4 different stages. The first stage is basing stage. So this is called basing stage, where pretty much company is not doing anything. Basically it's consolidating. Second is breakout. So you might have a breakout here and there will be a big trend that will start forming here, which means the company is now in advancing stage, the trend has started, the earnings has started picking up, and the growth is actually going on in a very nice way. And then finally there is a distribution phase or a topping phase where a lot of smart investors start selling and all the fools get in, and that is where the price doesn't move, but overall you need to be careful around stage 3 distribution. And finally you have something called as stage 4, which is signifying a downward trend, which means a company is actually falling in terms of earnings and hence the price is also falling, or the earnings might be at a peak and about to collapse. So when you study this framework, the most important thing to learn is the most essential part to ride is the stage 2. So if you are able to make most of this stage 2, you can actually make a lot of money and basically ride the winning stocks in their upward trending phase. Now I'll not go deep into it, but basically basing stage is where there is a base form, the sideways, there is not much of demand, there is not much of supply. And it might be early phase where companies are just showing some signs of improvement, but it is not very essential to enter too early also. So the valuation are attractive, but still you need to wait and watch. The stage 2 is actually when the advancing starts, the earnings actually accelerate, and you also see some kind of re-rating, and stock price actually goes above the moving average and it actually starts showing some kind of momentum. And if it is along with the sector momentum, that is even better. Now why is this very important to understand? Why you need to also have a mega trend in place is because if your sector is also moving along with the company's growth, And if it is a long mega trend, you have a better chance of making long-term returns. So sector analysis, very important, where you can actually find out whether that particular sector is performing. Along with the sector tailwinds, if you find companies where this mega trend is playing out, that is even better. So that is where stage two should not be in isolation, but in along with in parallel with sectors and themes which are actually structural in nature. So the most important thing here to understand is there will be a breakout, there will be spike in the volume, the price will go above moving averages, and there will be positive guidance by management, and even analysts will start upgrading it. So that is the place to play. Now third stage is more of a topping. I teach this in very detailed way inside our community. I'll not go deep right now because of the scarcity of time. And last stage where a lot of investors make mistake is when it is actually falling, they keep buying the dips, buy the dips and the dip and the dip of the dip. Okay, so this is what you need to avoid, because most of the times at a peaking stage the earnings might still look good, but market is all about looking forward. So it might happen that earnings are going to collapse, or the margins have peaked out, the earnings have peaked out, and the market is very smart to know that. By the way, if you want to download this entire presentation for future reference, right, because we are going to cover this in a very short compact period, if you want to download the presentation, you can scan this QR code and you can actually download this presentation. So once you are done, you can just in the comment section type done, so that I know that you have downloaded this entire presentation. And what I'll also do is I'll give you the link, just in case you are not able to download directly from this. I'll give you the link which you can use to download this entire presentation. Okay, so you can go to this link, technofunda.co/growth stocks. I've placed this in the comment section, in the description, everywhere, but you can even just type in the browser to go about it. Now let's go further and let's try to understand what is happening. Okay. Now, what are the ideal buy points? The ideal buy points are either you enter when the base is just getting formed, which we call as low cheat. Another way to enter is when this stage 2 is just about to start, the sector strength is just about to pick up. And this is where I call this is the phase you need to ride it. Okay. Now let's understand how we analyze quarter 2 FY 2026 earnings using this framework. So the first thing we look is my revenue of the company growing? So I want at least like say 15% year on year growth. I'm trying to find exceptionally good growth stocks. Okay, so this is not like a normal filter. I want to find some outliers during the entire result season, which has been really interesting. The second thing which I find is whether the operating income of the company has grown more or not, right? Next thing I want to see is my profits increasing year on year by at least 15%? And I also want to see if there is any kind of margin expansion that is happening. So once all these four criteria are done, then I move forward into my analysis. Now for this analysis, I have actually kept a market cap threshold of 1,000 crores, just so that we don't get too illiquid stocks, but you can change this based on your requirement. I have analyzed most of the stocks where the stage 2 is just starting or it is in advancing phase, and we have gone through other criteria also, like whether the sector median growth is fine, there is a positive management commentary, and so on and so forth. Now we have dedicated research services. Technofunda has a research services. We provide SEBI registered research services to our customers, and we do every quarter this kind of detailed analysis. And after doing so much of hard work, there are few companies that come into our filter, and then we rigorously go further in. So it's a very intense process, but just in case you want to learn it, I'll share this PPT. The link is already there. You can go through it and you can understand what goes inside the research part, right? So I'll not cover right now all the things how it's done, but I'll cover some of the things so that you understand the process. Now the first thing we want to see is results, right? So for that we use a tool called screener.in. And once we go into screener.in, there is a results season which gets covered over here, right? So every day, whatever result comes in, you can actually search here, and you can even search by the names of the company, right? So you can actually one by one go through that. And then we also use TradingView to understand which kind of companies are actually entering into stage 2. So for that, we use our proprietary indicator, which is called Shaktiman. And when we put this on weekly, and when I enable the settings of stage analysis, this is how we do it. So the stage and the legend and even financial table I'll enable. So I can see what are the kind of past quarter growth which is there. So I can see below what is the quarterly growth. I can see the legend of stage analysis, and I can also see that the early emerging stage is just getting started. Now the way to do it is we filter these companies. So let's say Anupam Rasayan, right? So I'll just search with Anupam Rasayan, and you will be able to see that Anupam Rasayan has given fantastic results. So you can actually go through it. I've also put it into the PPT. So some of these results I've kept in the PPT. I'm just sharing the thought process with you, right? And most of these results are really, really good. So you can see Aether and Lotus Labs and Newland Laboratories. A lot of these results are amazing. So that is the first step of filter what we have done. And then we have gone through the companies one by one. And I'll basically just try to cover these companies from different sectors so that you get perspective. So in terms of chemicals, what we found is a company called as Anupam Rasayan is just entering into stage 2. It is just breaking out. And overall, the turnaround is happening into this. Tattva Chintan is in a early turnaround phase. This is also a company from chemical and pharma space. Then we have one more company in chemical space, which is called Navin Fluorine, which is in the emerging advancing phase. Then one of my favorite, Privi, which is again entering into stage 2. I am personally holding this stock, and there is fantastic growth that has been coming here. Then in the chemical space, you have Acuitas, which is also going into a stage 2. Then CDMO in pharma has been very strong, right? So some of the companies in chemical and pharma has been really strong. So one of the company is this, where again a lot of traction is there, and there is some kind of growth that we have seen coming in. Apart from that, we have seen Lotus Lab, which is also in CDMO, which has been strong uptrend. Both Newland and Lotus, we have recommended to our clients from lower levels, right? So in our research services, we have already recommended that since some time, and our clients might be already holding it. Senoris, again, one more company. Then in terms of mining, you have Sandur Manganese and Ashapura Mine Camp. Then prefabrication kind of materials. So we have prefab companies like EPAC and Interac. Both of them have come out with good results. TD Power, which also I'm holding in my personal portfolio as well, and I've done recently presentation on that also. So this has come up with very nice result. If you see the quarterly table, it is coming nicely, and overall also it is in stage 2. Then similar space in power space, you have Power India, which is also doing really good. So overall, if you see some of these companies which are proxy of power has done really nice. And then if you go deeper, we have one jewelry stock, which is Thangmail, which has also entered into stage 2. You can see green stage 2. From auto, let's go into some of these auto plays, what is happening in terms of sector growth. So even in the auto space, because of the GST boost, and even in the two-wheeler space, there has been some booster. So in auto space, you have Hero MotoCorp, which is doing very nice. Let me just come back to that. So we have Hero MotoCorp, which might be again in our research list. Then we have TVS Motor, Eicher Motor, I'm personally holding since some time. This is also in a good trending phase. And then we have Ether. And then we have a lot of defense related stocks. By the way, some of these defense and, aircraft related stocks are coming nicely. And I've created one more video of how to buy strong stocks. So if you want to know more about how to pick up these stocks and how to find strong stocks, you can even go through it. But because there has been a lot of traction on this space, you have good automobile boost, as well as defense, you have data patterns and PTCIL. Apart from that, there is again proxy play of airline and travel. So you might be knowing that now the travel and premiumization and lot of air travel has increased, because of which you have stocks like in infra space like GMR Airport, which is doing really good. Then you have stocks like GPPL, which is again proxy of all the logistics, and Adani Port. These are really doing good. So if you want to know more about all these premiumization play, we have done a dedicated video, okay, on premiumization. So you can go to our channel and search with Vivek Mashrani premiumization. I've covered all the stocks that are actually coming out of the premiumization play. And even in terms of data center, I have covered a lot of stocks. So many of the stocks on data center also is coming up. Apart from that, we have lot of tech related stocks which are turning around, and some of the exports related sectors also which are coming on this thing, and even the alcoholic beverages are coming up, and we have exchanges also that is coming up. So some of these sectors I have listed here. So at leisure you can go through all the names of the companies. If you are part of my community, during our inner circle mastermind or live sessions when we do, I'll share this trading view list also with all of you. But if you want to download the presentation, feel free to download. Go to this QR code, download the presentation, go at leisure and study these companies and see if you can get some trends out of it, see something is interesting out of it. It's again not a recommendation because we have a separate recommendation services. This is the framework or the process how we use to find good companies where the growth is coming. Then we create a watch list like this, and then one by one we go deep and try to find themes, we try to find sectors, and then from those themes and sector, if we find really interesting companies, we then recommend it to the client based on the valuation and the entry point. So this is the broad framework. Thank you so much again for watching this video. Hope this helped you to filter a few more ideas for the next quarter, and hope it was useful in terms of understanding the framework. Let me know which sector or the stocks you loved from this entire video, which is the stock which you are tracking, and what you want in our next video to be covered. And that way it will keep us focused to give you what exactly you are looking for, and we can create more and more content on this channel. If you are not following me on Twitter, my handle is Mashrani Vivek. Please feel free to connect with me on Twitter, and make sure that you watch a lot of other videos which are totally free for investor education on this channel, so that you can become a better investor. So that's about it from my side, and I wish you all the best. Keep compounding, and let's meet in the next video. Until then, keep compounding, and have an amazing remaining day. Thank you so much.